Sure. And I'd like to begin. Well, you said something about tokens, and if you guys know, Rubik's team started as a translation project for posts on Steemit and for all the things related to BitShares, to Steam, to Graphene technology in general. And we were at some point, I think it was like last December or maybe January this year, we're considering creating tokens to sell translation things. And with this whole thing about community tokens, we might consider doing that actually, but it's something that I just wanted to say for like kind of historical reasons. Yeah, we have a team of translators, and we have quite a bit of people who ask us to translate things. And yeah, we at some point when we started, we were thinking about how to monetize what we are doing, because most of things we do for Steam uploads and Golas uploads, and sometimes they give you nice payout, and the translator is happy because the money goes to the translators. Sometimes not so much, and we were thinking about things that would allow it to have some sort of stable income, and but instead we went and start doing our own interface for BitShares, and that also started as a translation project because BitShares didn't have a Russian interface at the time, and we were approached by tests who said, like, you guys are working on this, maybe you want to do Russian translation. And we said, yeah, sure. And then after we did that, we thought, okay, we have this interface translation, we could probably create our own interface, and we had a lot of ideas about what we want to see on BitShares, and that way we had an ability to fill all of them. For example, one of the things that we have that's different from standard BitShares is our Telegram-based troll box. That's we have a sandboxed iframe with the chat bro. We were a lot of people say that was a security problem, and we spent a lot of time to safeguard this. At some point, we were considering maybe seeing if there's code for chatbro and forking our own, so we would know that it's safe enough, because when you are dealing with a crypto wallet that is BitShares DEX, essentially you can't have too much security. Anyway, one of the things that we always wanted is a ruble MPA, and we created it and gave it to to the committee. So it's now an official ruble currency MPA of the BitShares, and all the price feeds for it are provided by producing witnesses. And also after that, since we position ourselves as a Graphene ambassadors for a Russian-speaking audience, we also worked and talked with communities of peer plays, of use of Golos and of Steam and BitShares itself, and created 0% market fee gateways that allow people to trade their tokens and exchange their tokens from Graphene-based networks without any friction other than paying the minuscule BitShares commissions. And that is made possible because we don't have any investors that we have any responsibilities in turning a profit and something like that, and also that we have an active witness in all of those networks, and in BitShares we're producing witness, in PewPlays and in Muse we're producing witness, and in Steam and Golos we are in top 20, which is maybe 1 or 2 percent, or I don't know, several 100,000 or like millions of vests away from being a top 90 witness. And producing a block every round, but even without being there, we're still close to the top. And on Steam currently, we've been running witness since spring. I think it was late March or early April when we announced the launch of our witness, and we are still not in top 50. So if you want to vote for a witness to support what we are doing, you'll have to input the witness name in the field for voting for not the top witnesses, and the witness name is blockchained, like blockchain ed, and hopefully we consider that most likely if enough people vote for us, we hope to be maybe like top 30, and maybe eventually make it into the top, but top 30 would be nice, and I think it would be enough to allow us to accelerate what we're doing by quite a bit. And next up, in the things that we are planning to do, we are currently tinkering with Ethereum nodes. We have to run one to be able to gate ERC20 tokens, and our first ERC20 token, once we have that operational, is going to be EOS, and I'm not sure on the particulars yet, but most likely we'll have a 0% market fee for EOS token only, because at some point it's going to be a Graphene-based token, and once that happens, we'll create a gateway for EOS, because we think that having BitShares as a premier platform for EOS tokens and all the tokens created on EOS is achievable, and it's actually desirable, because as far as I know, there are projects on creating DEXs on EOS itself, but we have the positioning to be first such DEX without actually porting to EOS, because Graphene chains have an ability to sidechain to each other, and hopefully within the next half a year or so, teams on EOS and other chains would realize the tools to allow that, and do all the research required for that. Next up, we are probably going to try and backport escrow functionality from Steam into BitShares, and we have a team of people who can work on that, and possibly as soon as we are sure that that's feasible for us in short term, we'll create a working proposal for that if no one beats us to that. Because escrow functionality would allow creation of peer-to-peer gating. So you'll have something called something along the lines of local bitcoins, except local bitcoins are a centralized service that allows peer-to-peer exchanges of bitcoins. But we were researching using the multi-sig schemes for that, and decided that while it's possible, it's still a bit clunky. That's why we're not. Well, we kind of shifted it sometime into the future once the tools that allow more elegant solution are in place, and well, that's probably it. If you have any questions, oh yeah, another thing is hopefully if you are going to Steamfest, you'll be able to see me if I get my visa done in a timely manner. Because if it happens, I'll go to Steamfest and do a presentation there. But I'll know in maybe a week or week and a half. Yeah, we've translated a lot of text for them, and we are planning to have a descent gateway, also powered by being a witness on Descent network. But it's probably going to be after an ERC20 gateway. Since it's not that hard to create gateways for graphene-based systems for us, it might happen before ERC20 gateway, but I'm not sure on the timeline. But yeah, that's in our plans. And if you are launching a graphene-based network, and you have a solid community and a solid business case for use of blockchain, and are looking to be listed, we are open to providing gateways to the DEX, because as far as we are concerned, DEX is the thing that is there to tie all the graphene-based chains together. And yeah, any other chains as well, but we first look for several things. One of them is if the blockchain in question has any sort of governance solutions. So you can in the future expect to see maybe Decred or I don't know Dash or yeah. And the second thing is privacy-centric blockchains. That's something that we really like. So Dash, Monero, Zcash, I don't know, TVAX, or well, whatever are the chains that have that functionality. We are looking into creation, but that's probably going to be in 2018, maybe earlier, but we are our idea is that we want to move at the pace that's comfortable for us, and mm, so we are sort of, when it's done, things there are no ATAs, but for graphing based chains, it's maybe like a week or two takes us about a week or two to set up the infrastructure for that, and another week or two to test that and release into the public, and then another couple of weeks to do a public testing before we send the code upstream, so it can be included into the reference wallet and into any other BitShares based interfaces. You'll still have to do it via BitShares. You send your money to, for example, Descent Gateway on BitShares. You get Rudex .decent tokens and or whatever they're going to be called. Then you go and exchange them for, I don't know, Rudex Muse tokens, and can then send them to Muse Network. And the thing is, since there are zero market fees, we're not actually taking any money from those trades. We only and since most graphene-based blockchains don't have sending or receiving fees or transaction fees, uh, we uh, we have zero transaction fees to send money this way or that, and even with BitShares and peer plays that have those transaction fees, since we are getting paid by the blockchain, and the volume on those movements is offset by those payments, so we are able to afford that. There are minimum amounts that we process, but it's still pretty frictionless for you if you're sending money from one blockchain to another. But it still requires people willing to trade. Maybe depending on how liquid the market is, it may be best if you do like you take your decent tokens, sell them for BitShares, and then buy Muse tokens for BitShares. But still, and yeah, one of the things that the community can help us with is doing the yeah. Yeah, okay, no problem. Yeah, sure, cool. So one of the things that you can help us with is market making. If you have a lot of tokens for one of those chains, you are welcome to come and provide the liquidity for them. Yeah. Also, vote for our witnesses on all those networks. We are looking for votes on Steam, and in the chat here, there were details about that. Yeah, thank you for having me. Our You can leave comments on our Steam blog. You could also contact us on Telegram. We have a really heavy presence on Telegram with several several groups for all those graphene chains. So we have Peer Plays Roo, EOS Roo, we have BitShares, DAX Roo, and all of them. AILs, yeah, I think, yeah, in the chat here's the links. Dima is posting them.